This interview is a paid advertisement. It was produced on behalf of the company and is considered investor relations activity under Canadian securities law. All statements and opinions are those of the guest and should not be construed as investment advice. Please do your own due diligence or consult a registered investment advisor.
Hello and welcome back to the Gold Newsletter channel, here from the floor of the Rule Symposium in Boca Raton, Florida. My name is Kai Hoffman. I'm the EdJR mining guy over next, and of course, your host of this channel. But before I dive into my next guest or into the conversation with my next guest, just a quick disclaimer. We own the stock in our fund, the Comaxus Resource Fund, so take everything we say with a grain of salt, highly conflicted, and we're also getting paid for this interview, so please keep that in mind when listening to this conversation. I really want to be upfront about that with all of you, but now let's switch over to the guest. It's Benoit La Salle. He's the president and CEO over at Aya Gold and Silver. Benoit, I've been trying to get you on this channel for a long time.
Yes.
I'm glad we could finally make it happen. It's good to see you.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me on the channel, finally.
Yeah, really looking forward to this because we'll all learn a lot more because Gold and Silver, of course, we own it in the fund, so we like it, of course. But I think it's time to spread the message a little bit. We'll start very high level first. Give us a 30,000-foot overview of the company, and then we'll dive a little deeper into the assets.
So Aya is a silver producer. We're a mining company. We're an exploration company, but we're also a producer of silver, which in the current environment is extremely important because we generate our own cash flow. So we have two domains, two very large domains, one called Zgounder and one called Boumadine in Morocco in the Atlas Mountains. Zgounder is in production. It's producing as we speak. This morning we announced an increase in the production quarter over quarter of 61%. And we've announced a production of about 1.7 million ounces for the quarter. And the second project called Boumadine, which in the language means the father of all deposit, Boumadine will be in production mid-2029. And the production of Boumadine will be 6 times the size of the production of Zgounder. So you have an emerging producer, which is Aya, with a very stable production from the first project and a very large production kicking in 3 years. And that's what we present, and this is what we're all about. In a great jurisdiction, Morocco. A team, this is I think my 7th mine. So we've done it over and over. And the geology of Morocco is absolutely unique, untouched, been protected for hundreds of years, and now is open for business.
Fantastic. Yeah, let's explore the assets together. And I've been hearing a lot of good things about Morocco, especially them flooding the labs in Spain because there's so much activity, right?
Yes.
But let's go through the assets. Let's talk about Zgounder. You mentioned the production increase. Talk about the asset, like where did the increase come from? How did you achieve it?
So Zgounder is interesting because it was discovered 2,000 years ago by the Roman. 1,000 years ago, the currency in Morocco came from the Zgounder mine, the silver. And when we took over 6 years ago, it was huffing and puffing and really not going anywhere. And we brought in technology, geophysics, satellite imagery, and we started drilling. And we took Zgounder from a 30 million ounce deposit at the time to a 100 million ounce deposit right now. Once we saw that there was a 100 million ounce deposit, when we saw that there was 100 million ounce, we started building a second plant, brand new plants of 2,700 ton per day capacity. And we built that in 2024, did the commissioning and the ramp up in 2025. And now we are in 2026 on a steady streak of 6 million ounces a year, cash cost of $16, AISC of $19. And that currently on that first deposit is an 11-year mine life.
Fantastic.
So it's a beauty. It's a beauty of a little ATM machine at the current silver price generates approximately 250 million US a year. Little ATM machine, steady as she goes.
And no operating capex or anything that needs to go, sustaining capex or anything, all that?
Couple of $1 million a year. Yeah. That's it. And it's paying for all of the exploration of the company as a whole, because we do put in exploration 60 million a year
That's
in
great.
exploration. We have 18 drills turning. We have a team of 450 people in exploration. And that is all funded through this little ATM machine called Gundera.
Fantastic. So you're the ones clogging up all the labs in Spain right now.
Yeah.
I've been hearing rumors about that.
Actually, funny enough, we are 90% of all the capacity in country of the drillers and of the labs.
No, that's brilliant. I'm trying to think like which route to go. It's like maybe we need to catch up our audience about Morocco first before we talk about Boumadine as well. What has changed in Morocco? Because I've been hearing more and more about it, and as a jurisdiction, and you just mentioned it that you're super happy there. Run us a bit through it. There was obviously a regime, wrong term, but a regime change.
Well, there was a strategy change because the regime has been there for hundreds of years.
That's why it's like the wrong term.
Yeah, it's a strategy change. Is in 1914 they discovered the largest phosphate deposits in the world. And at that time, the government and the royal family decided to protect the deposit by making mining not part of their strategy, except for phosphate. So anybody involved in mining had to be either the state or part of the royal family. So for 100 years, there was two companies, one called OCP, which is the phosphate company, and Managem, which is the sovereign wealth fund company. And they developed, what they saw and what they had, and they are both extremely profitable companies, but it was not open to the public. So you did not have the gold rush or the silver rush that we saw in West Africa or in all over the world. It did not happen. So in 2010, they decided to open up a little bit. They put some assets up for sale, and Aya was able to acquire those assets, which is Gundera and Boumadine. And they did nothing. The previous management did not do much. And in 2020, we had sold our first company called Semafo. We had sold that to Endeavor, and the team came in. So the Semafo 2.0 team came in. We took over, brought technology, expertise, people, and discovered in 5 years 550 million ounces of silver.
That's fantastic.
And still ongoing.
But like permitting, everything, like what kind did they use like a Western mining law or anything to sort of like permitting and?
Yeah, absolutely. So they currently Morocco, I believe, is one of the best jurisdiction in the world. And the Ministry of Mine, will give you the mining permit, but their time to delivery is a couple of months. It's not a couple of years. First of all, the activity is not that big. There's a few players, and we're one of them. And they're very pragmatic. They want things to get done. They want things to get done quickly. Because as you know, mining creates a lot of jobs.
Absolutely.
Because we're creating jobs, that's what they want. Hence, they give us the mining permit, they give us the power, water rights, and all that very quickly. So today, why I say that Morocco is one of the best jurisdictions, it's really time to permit.
Yeah.
It's extremely fast. Now, geology was never looked at because for 100 years, nobody was allowed in. So we're coming in as of 2010 with 1,600 kilometer of a VMS system that's never been walked.
Fantastic. Like, do they have a geological society or anything like that with nothing?
Not much.
Because I'm just wondering, like, I hear positive things, but I haven't heard about an exploration boom yet in Morocco. I know there's a couple companies, but I haven't heard about a boom.
Well, it's us. We're the boom. We're drilling 240,000 meters. Yeah. Our geological team and our exploration team is 450 people. 18 drills turning, a 1,500 square kilometer of permits, and we're the exploration boom.
Perfect. Perfect segue back to the company, actually, because I'm trying to figure out, like, what kind of label do we put on Aya? Like, I think you called yourself an emerging producer.
And the reason is because, once you're in production, your project pipeline is often hard to build. Yeah. So once you get into production, it's hard to have production growth. But our production growth comes from our second project is we're going to go from 6 million ounces of production per year. And when Boumadine kicks in, we're going to add 37 million ounces of production. So we're going 6 to 43 million ounces. So we are an emerging producer because our pipeline has got a tier one asset that is getting into production that's going to, make our production go up sevenfold.
But before talking detail, Boumadine, let's talk business plan real quick, because you got two assets. Is your pipeline full? Or do you have more projects in the pipeline that you can bring through?
So the first mines, Gunda and Boumadine together, it's probably 20 square kilometers each. So let's say 40 square kilometers. But our portfolio is 1,500 square kilometers. So we own the district. Yeah. So we don't own a mine in Nevada, we own Nevada. We don't own a mine in Quebec in the Abitibi belt, we own the Abitibi. Yeah. We have all of it. Yeah. So when you look at Boumadine and you see that main structure, well, it's a very short line on a project that is massive. So we're there. Our head geo always says, I'm good at Boumadine for at least the next 20 years of exploration.
That's a typical geo thing to say.
Yeah, that's why you need to control them, because then they just keep drilling.
Exactly. You know what? Let's talk about Boumadine, and then we'll talk about exploration afterwards. But 37 million, that sounds like the biggest silver mine in the world when it goes into production. Where would you put it on a global basis?
Well, so that's in silver equivalent, because there will be a little bit of gold. There'll be copper, lead, and zinc. So it will be 13 million ounces of pure silver. So it's an important mine. It's way up there, and it's got a lot of room to grow because the geology is we're starting to understand the geology. So globally as a project, and to call a project tier one asset, you need to be able to see in gold about 500,000 ounces. Well, that's what Boumadine is. So you can see 500,000 ounces of gold production. Or if you put that in silver, it's 37 million ounces of silver. That's that kind of an asset.
Absolutely. Run us a bit through the timeline and the milestones you still need to hit before Boumadine goes into production.
What's very interesting is Boumadine is permitted. So the PEA is done. We're doing a revised PEA right now because some metrics have changed quite a bit. We've been drilling, we're adding ounces, so the mine plan is going to change. So we're doing a revised PA as we're finishing a feasibility study, which the feasibility study being, converting resource into M&I, detail engineering, more precise understanding of the water system and all of that. But our decision to go ahead is already made because the project economically is so powerful. And the beauty, because it was a mine, historically, we have a mining permit. So it's permitted. We have the money because we will fund that from our own money. We have the water rights. We've agreed with the government. We have power. It's coming from the national grid. So we just need to build the power line, which we are.
And there's access capacity. What does it look like in Morocco?
Absolutely. Yeah. There's access. There's capacity. We have employees, we have our own construction team, and we just build one mine. So it's the same suppliers. We just build one, we're going to build a second one. So timeline is detail engineering, completing feasibility 1 year from today. Start of construction Q4 of this year on water system, power line, things like that, the infrastructure, and 2 years of construction for the plant. And so we're pushing and hoping for mid-2029.
Okay. Remind us of the KPIs in the PEA, and what will the revised PEA look like? What are you guiding, if anything?
So the original PEA was done with 450 million ounces of silver equivalent. We have added 180,000 meters of drilling. So we're going to be adding, I would say, maybe another 20% to that. And a lot of it is open pit, so we're going to change the open pit underground breakdown because we have more open pit, so that's a big change. The CapEx is confirmed. CapEx around 450 million, that's confirmed. But the other big thing is payability. When we did the PEA a year and a half ago, the payability on the metal was 74%, 73%. Today, the payability is 83%.
That's a big increase.
Massive difference. So you'll see that the NPV of the project is going to really go up a lot. The internal rate of return will be in triple digits. The payback is 1 year, if that, and it will have a 14, 15-year mine life.
Fantastic.
On the surface of the deposit only.
Brilliant. Like the numbers are mind-blowing.
It's a tier 1 asset.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the exploration side. You're drilling a lot. To break it down a little bit for us, how much is infill drilling versus the exploration drilling and scout drilling in the area?
So, look, the area is so well mineralized that a month ago, to start the year, we said at Boumadine, we're going to do 200,000 meters. So 180,000 meters on the main zone just for infill drilling, and 20,000 around to find out test other structures. One of the drill hole, we went through the main structure, and there was a geophysical anomaly a little bit to the east. We kept going, and we hit the best results ever on a parallel zone. Listen, we hit 51 meter at 890 gram per ton silver.
That's a massive intercept.
How
much of that is true width? But even if it's 50%, it's still a massive intercept.
It's probably 75%.
Yeah.
So through width, probably, let's say 35 meter through width of 890 gram per ton silver. And that is a parallel structure to the main structure, which now, of course, we're changing the pit design because we'll incorporate that in the pit. We're going to be testing it all the way to surface. So yes, there's 200,000 meters of drilling, but it technically is supposed to be infill, but some of it is also step out.
Okay. Question now, you keep coming up with these fantastic results. Like, when do you say, okay, enough is enough? Because I wouldn't say you're moving the goalposts because you're adapting to the new information, of course. But when you say you're building Boumadine, should we be worried about a PEA 3.0 and 4.0? Do you say the second one is...
No, because now we have what we need.
Yeah.
We will be at about, let's say, around 550 million ounces or 500 million ounces of silver equivalent. That is plenty. Yeah. It's going to be a 13, 14-year mine life. That's good enough. We're going to get going. We'll build an 8,000 ton per day plant that will produce 37 million ounces of silver equivalent. And then from that, we'll start tweaking it. Zgounder, we build Zgounder at 2,700 ton per day. In Q2 of this year, the average throughput was 3,800, and the average throughput of last week was 4,500.
Wow.
So just some tweaking on pumps and different little things that you change on piping, and you bring your nameplate much higher, and then you just improve your production profile, reduce your costs, and become extremely profitable and for the same capex. So your return on capital invested becomes infinite, almost. Almost.
Fantastic. Run us through catalysts for the next 3 months, just to summarize a bit the conversation as well.
So catalyst this morning was the first one, was the Q2 production results. In a week's time, you'll have an update on Boumadine construction because we've started developing Boumadine. Mid-August, you will have the financial results of Q2, which again are going to show a very nice profit. Beginning of September, you'll have the updated PEA with the new mine plan, the new economics, that will be early September. Throughout September, you'll have drill results from all the drilling that we're doing. Early October, you'll have the Q3 production numbers, and on and on and on. It's just going to continue.
Fantastic. Really appreciate you stopping by, Benoit. Really great conversation. Congrats so far. Looking forward to seeing more coming out of Aya here.
Thank you so much for taking the time. It's a pleasure to be with you. And look, I'll be back and we'll keep talking about it because it's once in a lifetime you see that a project like this.
We'll have to do a site visit at some point.
They're very rare.
We'll have to do a site visit.
With pleasure.
So, absolutely. No, Benoit, really appreciate you stopping by. And of course, everybody else, really appreciate you watching here from the floor of the Rule Symposium in Boca Raton, Florida. If you enjoyed this conversation, help us out with the algorithm. Hit that like and subscribe button. Leave a comment down below. Are you already invested here in Aya? Let us know. Really curious. But in the meantime, take care out there and stay positive.